Greeting everyone out there in internet land. My name is Troy Bernier, and this is the Miami International Science Fiction Film Festival. And we are now transitioning into the virtual festival. It's an impressive lineup, which not all the films, but many of the films are in the festival. And we're just going to chat about some of them today. Hopefully, we'll hear from some of the filmmakers today. And we'll talk about sci-fi news, and all that fun stuff that's going on. So without all ado, do we have someone in the studio in the backstage there? Yes, we do. Eric is in the backstage. How you doing, Eric? Give me a thumbs up or a hand when you're ready, and I'll be happy to drag you in. But to start off, folks, let's transition into the definition of science fiction. Right? Sometimes it seems like folks don't really get it, right? They don't get it when they label them as science fiction. When you watch it, it's like, that's not science fiction. And also, a lot of times we have an overload of science fiction where it's just too excessive in one dimension and it's just absolute chaos. But guess what? We like those kind of films too. Anyway, what is science fiction? What is science fiction? Well, to be put most simply and most concise, it is fiction based on imaginative future scientific or technological advances and major social or environmental changes, frequently portraying space or time travel and life on other planets. So it's either this or that or a combination thereof. For starters, the fundamental premise of science fiction violates the premise of fantasy and comics, going all the way back to Homer. And the premise is that children can learn from the mistakes of their parents, right? That is where the basis of this comes from. And there's actually a pretty strong, detailed description of this on our festival page. If you look up the section that says, what is science fiction? There's a real nice section on that, a breakdown, a very, very long definition by one of our team members as well. And there's a nice video by Trexpertise, which does a great job of that. And this is partially taken from Trexpertise. So that's with our little definition of science fiction. So let's go off to a short break, tiny little break, intermission, and we'll be right back.
Has gone away. It's really hard to say how long we have to live with our insanity. We have to pay for all we use. We never think before we light the fuse. Look up, look up, look up, the sky is falling. Look up, there's something that you have to do. Before you try to go outside to take in the view, look up because the sky could fall on you. Another restless night, the wind is howling through the empty streets outside. We have to hide. We dare not go outside. We must not walk into the darkness of the night. We have to pay for all we use.
Wow, that was pretty neat, wasn't it? Yeah, that's Simone Weber. Who's a fantastic. She goes by the name Simo now, out of Chile, South America. An awesome singer, has an impressive lineup of songs. She also sings a lot of anime songs. She also sings them in Spanish. We met her several years ago, and we are really excited. We'd love to bring her back on board to the festival. We would actually love to do that. Um, but what I have here, this is some of folks might recognize this. This is actually a little dated, but in my opinion, and many of our opinions, we think that this is what we call a foundation block in science fiction. This is part of the Robotech or Macross saga. Originally, it was Macross, and then the company in the United States called Harmony Gold licensed the content for the United States. And in that process, they added a couple other series to it and expanded the Robotech saga from season 1 to season 2 to season 3. And it's a very interesting story, very good, very entertaining character development. Not really what I would call a kid story, but it's quite exciting. But in any case, this is a nice little some art of what it looks like, and that's these Battleoids, Battletechs, real cool things. We love that kind of stuff. Any case, going back to where we were. So let's talk about some of our films here. We definitely want to talk. I think Eric left there. Eric Rudnick left. But let's talk about some of the films that we're going to have this season. Just for starters, we're going to have this film called Javu. Let's put it.
Evete chondaro chondari akwera. Koyan de rumba iya, pero ya voy. Tentare, peguata, vai archiva estar bien.
Não é manutenção. Se mata fora. Jangan lupa mak buat perawat kue.
Kue memang boleh membeli.
Just what it looks like. This film is out of Brazil. It represents a post-apocalyptic film where in the near future, the Earth civilization has been destroyed. However, indigenous people in a particular area of South America, and particularly it's Sao Paulo, in the middle of Sao Paulo, they managed to survive thanks to the protection of the spirits of their nature. And this Guarani village of Jagua is one of the remaining groups of people and receives a message of hope through a dream. And the village shaman calls 3 of their residents to travel to the empty city in search of answers. That is very, very interesting. We have a nice interview with them, and that film is part of the virtual festival. I highly recommend it. It's very different. And on top of that, it received recognition from the Russell Bates Award. It received an award this season, and you definitely want to miss out on the interview. They shed some light behind a lot of this. It is a mixed language interview, meaning part of it is in English and part of it is in their native language and part of it is in Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese. So it's good. It's good. All right, on to another one that we have here. There's a great one. Outrun. And if you're thinking what I'm thinking, you're thinking set design, lots of practical effects, lots of real world practical effects. The film is out of Canada, and it is about, let's see, yeah, Canada, and it's about a story about a guy named Hank Bannon, who's a hapless courier in the far reaches of space, is pursued relentlessly by a mysterious ship hell-bent on terrorizing anything and anyone that crosses its domain. He's armed only with his limited wits, an outdated artificial intelligence co-pilot. Hank must navigate the stars and outrun this aggressor to make it out alive. So it's sort of like a space western. It has a space western kind of feel to it. Feature film, done real well. Received some notoriety. It's I know it was nominated for set design as well as maybe one or two other nominations. But we'll hopefully the filmmaker comes on board and tells us a little bit about his film this week or next week, right? So yeah, that's a nice gem there. All right. What else do we have? What else do we have? Ooh, this is different. This is different. Let's see. This is a different one. The Companions.
Voy a hacer una llamadita.
No, por favor. Para una vez que vamos a cenar juntos y los niños, vamos a desconectar un poco, ¿no?
Ya, pero es muy rápida.
Que no, que los niños están bien, que los niños están bien con los yayos, ¿de acuerdo, cariño? Sí.
Vale, de acuerdo. Pero, en serio, ¿por qué tienes que poner siempre voces, Dani? Es que tienes 12 años.
Yo te pongo una voz para tuki-tuki. Tuki-tuki.
¿Tienes
¿Qué?
hasta legañas? ¿Tienes legañas?
Quita.
Que sí, tienes 12 años.
Oye, vamos a un vegetariano, ¿no?
Hombre, es que somos vegetarianos.
Bueno, vegetariano serás tú, yo lo hago por ti.
¿Qué ha pasado ahí?
Marta, ¿dónde vas?
Bueno, que igual ha pasado algo.
La Compañía, which is the companion. And I'm not going to give it away, but it's a very interesting piece which borders in the category of in science fiction to deal with the psychological and the spiritual. It's supposed to be in subtitles. I don't know what happened there. There should have been some subtitles. I'll double check and make sure there's subtitles in the film. If not, don't hesitate to send us an email. We'll get those subtitles out to you because they should be burned on the video. That's the way we typically prefer it. But sometimes it requires a little file that we have to introduce into this playback system. But it's a story about a young couple who walks down the street. They have left the children at home and they are going out to a dinner. But the crowd, the crowd, they come up to a crowd that's gathering around something. It's a short film, but these days, some of these short films are done so well, you think you're watching a feature story. They're done so well. I won't spill the beans, but you don't want to miss it. Okay, one more, and then we're going to take another break. So this one is called Las Nogas. Las Nogas.
My friends, the time has come to create the clouds that will hold our life-sustaining rain.
The homies are nothing like their human ancestors. They understand that all life is interdependent. It was all of a sudden the homies became so sick. The water we've extracted from the homies' blood isn't even enough for one rainfall.
Your Highness, I'm concerned the water my forefathers collected before the rain stopped won't last.
There isn't one drop of water in the groundhog's cistern.
And now, with the homies being ill,
We must figure out quickly what's wrong with the homies, or we all die. Alma is the best healer in the land.
Alma, please hurry. We need you.
Oh my goodness, 500 years into the future, the Earth is a dry wasteland destroyed by humans. Dr. Alma, which is a fluffy, brilliant volkeet, which is a cross between a parakeet and vulture. That's an interesting imagination. Who drives a Vespa on top of that, must cure the only creatures left who can save the world by bringing back the rain. The bizarre and lovable homies, who have fallen ill with a mysterious sickness. Very cute family film, very family oriented. Catalaya Plate made the film. She's alumni with the festival. I think this is her third film in the festival out of the 12 years we've been doing this. Very cool, very, very nice. Let's do one more. Let's do one more before we get the next break. And this one is called, oh, there's a nice one. I like this one. Let me tell you about it first before we show you the trailer. But this one is called Recall 126. After killing the original that made him, a newly freed clone must fight for his life against an all-powerful billionaire that destroys everything in their path. Yes. Here we go. Here's Recall. And also understand that at the festival, we have multiple categories, okay? We have our sci-fi category, which is short films, feature films. We have fantasy shorts, fantasy features. We have animation, which we get a lot of animation shorts these days. In addition, we get thrillers, suspense thrillers that have sort of a fantastical twist to them. Many of them might lean into the horror side or lean into the fantasy side, but they're suspense like thrillers. And we also get our thriller films. We also get our horror films. We do get these, and some of them are extremely horrific. But also what we get are what I classify as very low budget, independent type content. And what makes these qualify for the festival is that they have the recipe. They know what it takes to make a great film. It's not the fact that they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars with equipment to produce their film. It's the fact that they have their shots right, the acting's right, the story development is right, character development is right, the delivery of it is right, the shots are framed very well. So you watch this film and you'll be drawn into the story and be drawn into the characters. You'll enjoy some of the effects they have. It's good. It makes it. We call these our zero budget films. The festival always has a few a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe a year. It's a very strong category. We get films from all over the world that fall into that category. And whenever we talk about them, I will bring up in particular about it. But this one is Recall 126. So let's take a look at the trailer. And then we'll take a break.
So you're trying to tell me that this guy was murdered by an artificial version of himself?
With the proper DNA, you can make a model 126 of almost anyone. Would I just roll over and let myself die?
Sure. My only purpose is to serve Mr. Walensky, however he sees fit.
So it's just another form of slavery. How do you think that's gonna go?
Will society give a damn that their world is being run by a slave class of homunculus flesh puppets? I think not.
So being a human is so different.
You don't know anything about what life has to offer. You make everything sound so awful. But there's beauty in this world, and you have to fight for it.
Go ahead. Run. Run after the world you can never have.
That's a really good bad guy. He's very good, very convincing, very good. Good job there. All right, we're gonna take a short break, and we're gonna come back and chat about some more of the films. We'll be right back.
Sometimes I dream with open eyes. I dream of falling in love. To be in love must be the sweetest feeling that a girl can feel. To be in love, to live a dream with somebody you care about like no one else. A special man.
Like I said, Robotech, that was another one. And it has been written that it's the best sci-fi love story of all time. I believe it. I believe it. Check it out. You can, of course, watch Robotech. You watch Macross. There's a lot of overlap in the story. Robotech is a much longer story. Maybe we'll do a late night or watching Robotech. Maybe we'll do that one day. Anyway, so this next one is called The Perfect Date, La Cita Perfecta. Okay, and this one here, this is a very interesting film. You've seen Blade Runner. it has that sort of feel, that sort of theme to it. It's a bleak dystopian future where this woman named Elena, who's a synthetic woman, decides to accompany this guy named Javier, who's a withdrawn office worker. And inside a small Mexico City restaurant, and almost by chance, they both believe they found an ideal companion, causing Javier with urgency to invite her, Elena, back to his house to continue the evening together. But before leaving, Elena reveals to Javier that she's synthetic. She's an organic android. But that unleashes a night that goes from being a perfect date to being like all the other nights of this future, revealing the worst side of humanity through Javier. But surprisingly, the best as creators through Elena. It's a toughie. It's a pretty strong film. And let's take a look at the trailer. I'll talk a little more. Wrong trailer. And I'll have to look that one up. Never send stuff in that you don't want anybody to see. That's not intended to be a trailer. Anyway, we'll come back to that. Let's take a look at one more. But it's a good film. It's a really good film. I highly recommend it. Lots of nominations. It's good. Oh, here's one that was definitely a highlight of the festival. As you may recall, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but Mr. George R.R. Martin, who's quite famous in this fantasy sci-fi world of ours, was at the festival. And he was at the festival because his film, Mary Margaret Road Grader, which is a short, played at the festival. And he came and spent 2 days with us. Very rare. We thank him highly for spending time with us, having a good time. But we had our Q&A, and in the Q&A, he liked Good Boy Fox. he liked it a lot, and I take it that he's a cat lover. But Good Boy Fox is a short film, and it's a story about a cat who's at home, and there's this radio transmission that gets intercepted, I guess you would say, by a small micro radio analog TV, and starts talking to the cat, and the cat's talking back. It's a very sweet, innocent, super sweet, innocent film. Highly recommended. Support your local festival if it's coming to your town. It's great. But here's a little trailer. They were so nice, they made a little trailer for us. Very nice. Great interview. You want to see this. It's a good film. Good film. What else we got here? What else is going to be part of the virtual that we have right now? Do realize also that as the festival goes on, more films are added to the festival as we go on. So there's a big batch that's there right now, and in another few days more will fall in, because there's a process of encoding, getting the films encoded properly for the streaming system, and making sure we have the content, the posters, title cards, things like that. You'd be surprised. A lot of folks don't create this content. When you ask them for it, either they have to produce it themselves or their artistic team has to do it. So in many cases, it doesn't happen. So we have to just use whatever we have. Doesn't always work. But let's take a look at another one here. Paint. Paint's good. Paint's real good. Let's see. I think I have it here. Interesting story. A brilliant but disturbed artist, quite disturbed, struggles to connect with his audience. Right. Very simple log line, but very interesting. Very well done short film. This film had quite a many nominations, and I know it won some awards. It's not to be missed. It's an excellent actor. He's got a future. This guy, Mr. Washington, he's very, very good. Let's bring up the trailer. Here we go.
I wanted to personally congratulate you on being one of the artists selected.
I actually got into this program at the Smith Institute. All I ever wanted was to paint beautiful pictures that made people feel. But how can I do that if I feel nothing? I'm fine. I may as well be a robot.
Yes. It's very good. It's shocking. It's going to get you going. But once again, very well done. Out of Los Angeles, Maura Karu, very good filmmaker. We're pleased that she came to the festival. Very good film. Highly recommend it. Don't miss it. It's in the queue. Let's see. Let's talk about one last one for the night. If there isn't any Q&A coming our way, we'll just talk about one last one for the night. And that will be, this is a good one. This one is called Antares, like the star, Antares. This is where an astronaut undertaking a mission to an uncharted planet finds his psyche unraveling, gripped by a mysterious affliction that intensifies the closer he gets to his destination. While back on Earth, a very emotional committee, Earth-based committee, is overseeing this ambitious project, strives to ensure its success, but the astronaut grapples with the deepening challenges to their mental state. This unveiling the interplay between the unknown planet and the human mind. It's an awesome film shot in, I was going to say France, but let me be sure about that. Yeah, shot in France. And the visual effects, the set design, costuming, and so forth is quite nice. Very well done. Very retro. Very nice film. But let's take a look at the trailer and you can see for yourself.
Axum Compagnie. Un monde connecté, uni.
Il n'est pas capable de le supporter! N'avancez pas!
This has such a good retro feel. It reminds me a whole bunch of, if you've ever seen the TV show Space 1999. To me, it highly resembles the layout, the decor, feel. Job well done, Maxence. I'm impressed with this. It's very good. So, excuse me. That's it for tonight. If there are no future questions, that's it. And we'll cover some more later this week. See you then. Thank you for coming.